Okay, I'm responding to the claim of legalizing marijuana is causing physical and mental harm to future generations of U.S. society. However, I do not agree with the claim, and marijuana is legal medication that can treat many different kinds of disease, and legalized marijuana is not harmful than the alcohol or cigarettes. Brandon's first supporting claim was marijuana has huge effects on the human body and brain. But what I have found in long-term use of the marijuana does not have effects on the neurocognitive functioning. An analysis of research study with the long-term recreational users of marijuana has failed to reveal substantial systematic effects on the neurocognitive functioning of users. According to the researchers at the University of California, San Diego School of Medicine, the only side effects found was the minimal malfunctioning in domains of the learning and the forgetting. The marijuana causes short-term memory impairment, but only when people are in high. Another study showed that the chronic smoking of the marijuana does not produce major change in general cognitive abilities such as intelligence, memories, and the ability to learn. The alcohol and the tobacco also affects our cognitive abilities, and it is still legal in our society. Then why marijuana is harmful than alcohols and tobaccos? His second supporting claim was effects of marijuana use draw out of physical harm to people, and not just the people who consume marijuana, but the people around them too. But legalized alcohol usage or smoking cigarette is more harmful to others than using marijuana. A study in 2009 by U.S. Department of Health and Human Studies publishes that 69.7 million Americans are current users of the tobacco products, and 15 million Americans abuses alcohol, and then only 4.2 million Americans abuse marijuana. Every day, 1,000 people die from smoking-related disease, and 550 dies alcohol-related accident and disease, and less than 20 dies of drug-related causes. He used example of the consuming marijuana while driving causes accidents, but there isn't any specific statistical data that smoking marijuana causes car accidents. In driving studies, marijuana produces little or no handling impairment, consistently less than produced by low to moderate doses of alcohol and many legal medication. In contrast to alcohol, which tends to increase risky driving practices, marijuana tends to make more cautious. His last claim was how the physical and the mental harm marijuana causes harmful to future generation. But I think instead of harming to our future generation, marijuana can treat many different kinds of disease that can make our life better. According to COED magazine, marijuana can treat cancer, seizures, glaucoma, Tourette's, OCD, ADD, ADHD, and Alzheimer, etc. People only think negative side of the marijuana, even though many facts are not actually proved. But when we are at the marijuana, when you look at the marijuana as a medical use, it is beneficial because marijuana actually works to slow down tumor growth in the lung, breast, and brain. Not only that, in ADD and ADHD, USC study shown that the marijuana is not only perfect alternative for Ritalin, but treats the disorder without any negative side effects of the pharmaceutical Alzheimer's. So marijuana is legalized medication that can help many other people from suffering.
All right. The organizational issues are fine. When you get to the first point, you're basically denying that there's a long-term impact, and you're trying to diminish the significance of the issue in a couple of ways by suggesting, for instance, that the effects are only when people are under the influence of marijuana, or that there are some benefits on the other side. And in several places you're doing a comparison to tobacco and alcohol. Sometimes I think that comparison might be useful, but you need to explain it a little bit more. You did have a nice piece of evidence on that first point that I thought was very generic, but it does talk about the minimization of the impacts that the advocate was talking about there. On the second point, this is where the tobacco-alcohol comparison comes into play, and I'm not exactly sure that it helps you that much. There's maybe an attempt to diminish the significance of the advocate's claim, but it doesn't deny that there are, in fact, some of the negative consequences here, and I think that that's where you're a little bit more problematic. I think the better argument that you have here is a challenge on the results of driving. You suggest that there are studies that find that there's a minimal effect from marijuana, and then you also have a challenge to what the advocate's evidence was on these points. I think your challenge on the advocate's evidence needs to be a lot more specific. Tell us what's problematic with it, what it's lacking, that it's ambiguous, that it's not definitive, that there's nothing statistical about it, and then show us with the study that you've got why your conclusion is more valid. You've got the right idea here. I just don't think that the execution is as strong as it could be. The third point basically takes a counterclaim on health effects, and I think that there might be an argument about medical marijuana and whether it has some valid uses, but I'm not sure that it diminishes the health effects that the advocate talked about. Your evidence here is very generic in nature. It covers a broad spectrum. You know, it's like throw in everything in the kitchen sink. We're going to cure ADD and Alzheimer's and tumors, and you've got, you know, one or two broad pieces of evidence on that. And I think if you're going to make a counterclaim like this, you could develop it a little bit more. But again, I'm not sure that it's specific to the issues that the advocate was talking about. This is one of those places where if the counterclaim is not addressing the issues that the advocate is talking about, it may not do you much good. So you want to be a little bit more focused on that. All right, thank you.